The moment we've all been waiting for is almost here, the launch of the iPhone 16 series. We're talking about the iPhone 16, iPhone 16 Plus, iPhone 16 Pro, and iPhone 16 Pro Max. If you're as excited as we are, you're in the right place. Today, we'll guide you through everything you need to know about the release schedule for these highly anticipated devices. We'll cover all the key dates and events, including a surprising change in the pre-order schedule this year. So let's dive in. Let's start with something interesting. Traditionally, Apple has always opened pre-orders on a Friday, usually a week after the keynote event. However, according to a report from the German site Maserkauf, this year, pre-orders for the iPhone 16 series are set to open on Thursday, September 12, instead of the expected Friday, September 13. This is an unusual move, but Apple is known for surprising its customers. Now, before you start thinking this is due to some superstition, like avoiding Friday the 13th, let me assure you that's not the case. Apple has never shied away from such dates, even going as far as naming one of its phones the iPhone 13. So if it's not superstition, what could be the reason? We can only speculate for now, but there's one thing we can be pretty sure of. Pre-orders will still begin on Friday, September 13 for those who like to stay up to date. Why the confusion? Well, last year, Apple introduced an option that allowed you to select the iPhone model you wanted online the night before pre-orders officially opened. You could choose the model, color, and storage capacity, and leave it in your online shopping bag, ready to hit buy the moment pre-orders went live. This clever system let people get a head start, and it seems like Apple might do the same thing this year. So, while you can get your selection ready on Thursday, the actual pre-orders will likely kick off on Friday. Let's break down the timeline leading up to the big release day. The process is pretty standard, and Apple has a clear schedule that it follows almost every year. Here's what to expect. 1. Apple sends out official invites to the special event. Apple follows a clear and predictable schedule each year, and this year should be no different. On Monday, August 26, Apple sent out official invitations confirming the date and time for its special event. This event will reveal the iPhone 16 series for the first time. 2. The Apple Special Event. The Apple Special Event is set to take place on Monday, September 9 at 10 a.m. Pacific Time at the Steve Jobs Theater in Cupertino. This is the big day when Apple will officially unveil the iPhone 16 series. Notably, this event is scheduled for a Monday, contrary to earlier speculations of a Tuesday event. The timing and location are set, with anticipation building for the grand reveal. 3. Pre-orders begin. Pre-orders for the iPhone 16 series are expected to start on Friday, September 13 at 5 a.m. Pacific Time, 8 a.m. Eastern Time, and 1 p.m. in the UK. However, as mentioned earlier, customers might have the opportunity to prepare their selections the night before on Thursday, September 12. Days leading up to the launch, ensuring you don't miss out on anything. From the keynote event to pre-orders to iOS 18, and finally, the release of the iPhone 16, it's going to be an exciting few weeks. So what do you think of this year's timeline? Are you planning to pre-order the iPhone 16? Let me know in the comments section below. And if you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell for all the latest updates on the iPhone 16 series and more. As always, see you in the next video. In just a few months' time, the iPhone 16 Pro Max will succeed the iPhone 15 Pro Max and take on the mantle as the best and most advanced iPhone out there. Although there's plenty of time until September and a lot can change, we seem to know a lot about the upcoming top iPhone model based on rumors and leaks. How is the iPhone 16 Pro Max shaping up against its predecessor? What's changing and what's staying the same? Let's see how the iPhone 16 Pro Max shapes up against the current best iPhone Apple has in its roster. First up, let's talk about design and size. The iPhone 16 Pro Max will inherit the same design language as the iPhone 15 Pro Max, employing the same titanium frame with a completely flat screen. The major difference between the iPhone 16 Pro Max and the iPhone 15 Pro Max will be size. The upcoming iPhone screen will grow to 6.9 inches across, a significant bump over the iPhone 15 Pro Max's 6.7-inch display. To achieve this, they're likely shrinking the bezels down even further and making the phone itself slightly larger overall. As per the rumors, the iPhone 16 Pro Max will measure 163mm in height and 77.58mm in width versus 159.9mm and 76.7mm for the iPhone 15 Pro Max, respectively. A small but notable change, all things considered. The iPhone 15 Pro Max debuted with an action button instead of a mute switch and a USB Type-C port at the bottom, so those two features will be carrying over to the newer model as well. However, the iPhone 16 series will be scoring another button, dubbed the Capture button. Colors-wise, the iPhone 15 Pro Max was available in 4 understated and titanium-inspired colors. We've heard that Apple might use another titanium processing technique that will make the iPhone 16 Pro Max glossier and also more capable of retaining colors. Moving on to display differences. As mentioned, the iPhone 16 Pro Max will come along with a significantly larger display, measuring at 6.9 inches across. Aside from the size, when you don't clearly expect any other major changes, we're certainly getting a liquid Retina XDR display with an OLED panel delivering superb colors, contrast, and exceptional maximum brightness. The screen will support 120Hz ProMotion refresh rate, making scrolling through the interface and on-screen content way smoother. Now let's delve into performance and software. The iPhone 16 Pro Max will feature a second-generation 3nm chip, possibly dubbed Apple A18 Pro. As one can imagine, we expect that the Apple A18 Pro will have better performance than the Apple A17 Pro. Due to the heavily rumored focus on AI for both iOS and the iPhone 16 range, we expect that the iPhone 16 Pro Max will come with a much improved neural engine to take care of all the generative AI features. The iPhone 16 Pro Max will also be a first to debut iOS 18 with a focus on artificial intelligence features. The new iPhone 16 Pro Max will also support faster Wi-Fi 7 and a more power-efficient 5G modem, keeping you future-proofed on the connectivity front. Let's talk about the camera. As the iPhone 15 Pro Max delivers a host of important camera features, chief among which is the new 120mm telephoto lens, the iPhone 16 Pro Max could finally address one of the forgotten cameras that hasn't recently scored any significant overhauls, the ultra-wide. Analyst Ming-Chi Kuo believes that Apple will be introducing a 48-megapixel ultra-wide camera on the iPhone 16 Pro Max. When it comes to audio quality, iPhone Pro Max devices are always up there with the best, setting the benchmarks for all other manufacturers to measure up against. The iPhone 16 Pro Max will be no exception. The same generally applies to haptics too. iPhones are arguably the best devices when it comes to haptic feedback, giving us precise and accurate vibrations that are sufficiently strong yet not overpowering. Lastly, battery life and charging. The iPhone 16 Pro Max will reportedly feature a much larger 4,676 mAh battery compared to the 4,422 mAh battery in the iPhone 15 Pro Max. Charging-wise, we haven't heard anything about a potential charging speed increase, but we hope to see one on the iPhone 16 Pro Max. So far, the iPhone 16 Pro Max is shaping up to be a logical improvement to the iPhone 15 Pro Max, delivering key upgrades in important areas like screen size, performance, AI, and battery life. Thus far, we haven't heard anything particular about a potential price increase, so it's safe to assume that the iPhone 16 Pro Max will start at $1,199 for the 256GB version. Of course, if there's an iPhone 15 Pro Max in your pocket, then you'll probably have few reasons to upgrade to the iPhone 16 Pro Max. Stay tuned for more updates on the iPhone 16 Pro Max as we get closer to its release date. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for the latest tech news and reviews. Thanks for watching. Until next time.